Now that we know how to mix well and know what tools work best for our situation, we can look at a few brief tips and tricks to round out our mixing knowledge. The first tip is to pay attention to the size of our container. We talked about this a little earlier, but it's worth repeating. Choosing the right size container, one that is at least twice as big as the material we're mixing, will limit the amount of spilling that occurs, give us more control when we're pouring, and provide ample room to degas our material. Our second tip is to use the double cupping method for some additional insurance. Making sure we have every tiny bit of side A and side B combined can be difficult as we near the end of our mixing. To make sure we don't end up with any surprises when pouring, we can pour our mixed material into a different container. Any uncombined material on the side or base of our container will stay put, giving us only perfectly mixed material in our new bucket. Make sure to do this only at the end of mixing. Doing this too early can give us an off-ratio mixture that we don't want to deal with. Our third and final mixing tip is all about time. It can be tempting to rush through the mixing process to get pouring, but taking the time to get a good mixture is super important. How long we should be mixing will depend on the work time of our material. For silicones with 30 to 40 minute working times, mixing for 3 to 5 minutes is completely reasonable. If our silicone has a shorter window, we'll have to adjust and work more quickly. It's important to take the time we need to get a good mixture, but we don't want to waste any additional work time that could be used to pour slowly or allow our silicone to release air.